Hello Virgo season. Let's talk organization. Hey lovers, it's Ray of Ray Runs Free. Today's video is about something that is very near and dear to my heart, bullet journaling. So first off, what is bullet journaling? It was created by Ryder Carroll. This is his book. Bullet journaling is a combination of a planner, a journal, a task list, just about anything that you need to do and could think of, that's where it goes. You start with just a plain journal that has a dot grid on it and you completely customize it to the way that you want it to be. It started as being very simple, and now over time the community has made it to be very artistic and very much a form of self-expression. I first heard about bullet journaling about 2.5 years ago, right before my dad passed. Not at all coincidentally, when I was traveling up for his services, my planner that I was using at the time, a very traditional setup of a planner, was completely destroyed and ruined in the journey there. And it was a sign that I was supposed to start bullet journaling. These are all of my bullet journals, both past and present. I have been through about 3 full ones physically and a few dozens of pages on my iPad when I switched to digital for a while. And I'm now working on moving into some new journals. There is a deeper sense of spiritual mindfulness that I feel when it comes to bullet journaling, because I'm not just planning things to be more excited about them, but I'm more intentionally spending my time. If you want to see more detail on exactly what I do to make these work for me and my life, then keep watching. And if you like this video, then please click the thumbs up and like and subscribe to my channel for more bullet journal videos in the future, along with a ton of other cool stuff on my channel as well.
I've accumulated a lot of different pens and markers and such through the years. You really don't need this much. Whatever you have, whatever you want to use absolutely works. I will have the titles and names of all of the supplies that I personally like to use in the description below. Also, always got to have a good pencil and eraser to be able to mark things out ahead of time, along with a ruler for whenever you want straight lines. Sometimes you want them loose, sometimes you want them straight, you never know. So this was a Scribbles That Matter journal, my first ever. I went all in with a habit tracker that was way too many habits. I had no idea what I was doing, but that mood tracker was really helpful for me, and mood tracking has continued to be something that I've used that has helped me with my depression and anxiety. This was the first spread that I ever really drew a lot on, which gave me a lot of confidence in the beginning of bullet journaling, just simple things that I could do. Along with this being the first spread that I had a full decoration page and then also a full quote page. And it's just really good to experiment. There's no way you can do it wrong, truly. I started incorporating what I ate and how I worked out and what I was doing like that with my weekly spreads. And that was really working great for me, and I loved switching things up. And then this was the first moment of like real disappointment, was when I had some really bad bleed through on a couple dark spreads with really dark markers. And that was just an overall bummer. So definitely be careful with what kind of paper you get if you like to use dark colors. This is another variation of mood tracking on each individual day of a calendar. And also this just shows that I am not a person who likes to overlap boxes. Some people do. I like to make really distinct box separations between my pages and between different events and tasks and things. Also, all of these stickers that you're seeing, I think most of them are from Planning with Kay. I'll link her below as well. I have a few from random little shops here and there that I'll try to remember, but the majority of them I get from her. And I don't use as much as I used to, but hers are by far the highest quality that I've ever seen. So the next thing is a grid spacing guide, which is different for every shape of journal, but it's essential to have a handy guide to go back to so that you don't have to count and figure it out from scratch each time. So this journal my second Scribbles That Matter has been through a lot with me. I switched back and forth between digital with it. I also really finessed the way that I tracked what I ate and how much I sleep, which for me is essential for my mental health. So I track different amounts and different habits and things like that. And I also continue to mood track and also like to do a word of the day as well. This is what one of those looks like midway through. And this is also just some doodles here and there because it's important to remember to have fun with bullet journaling and to really allow it to still be a journal, to have moments of doodling, to have moments of just writing out questions and answers for yourself of things that you want to know. And so you also have to let yourself have things that don't work sometimes. I went digital for a while because I thought it would help. It ended up being very boring and all of my spreads kind of looked like this. It was all right for a while, but it definitely didn't last and it didn't work great. And speaking of something else that didn't work great, I got this Dingbats journal thinking that it was going to be a great password log and pen test. I didn't give myself enough room at all for each page and quickly ran out of room for some letters. And as far as a pen test, these pages were a lot thinner than I anticipated they would be, so that ended up not working out at all, and I kind of butchered a lot of things in this, and it ended up being a big tester for me. So enter Archer and Olive, the journal that I'm currently using now. I have since filled in this password log quite a bit since recording this, but I gave myself a lot more room for each letter. So I really don't think that I will outlast it. And I also wanted to add my pen test pages at the back of this as well, to just keep track for when I'm trying to plan ahead for months and themes and figuring out how I want things to look. I have a place to reference. I've also added more to this since I've done it. I added a bunch of pages at the front of this journal about astrology, about tarot. Even since I've recorded this, I've added a couple pages in the back for medical information, some personal information like that, along with some just overall other things that I want to have in a long-term journal that I'm going to continue using for a long time. I also added a birthday page, of course, for all the special people in my life. Mine is the only one on there right now, which is May 30th. I split this up astrologically just because that's how I like to think of birthdays. You do whatever works for you and whatever ways that you think that you can make this spread or any of these spreads work for you. So that leads me to the very last, which is a bit of a tease for the next video that I'm going to have, at least my next bullet journal video, which is the next journal that I am going to be setting up. If you've made it this far, you're literally my hero. I'm so excited for this next video, and I really hope that you are too. And I really hope that you subscribe and have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one, lover.